Will you introduce yourself?
I will.
Okay.
I'm Don Rosenauer, and I'm a retired pastor, retired person in capital development for religious nonprofits, and I now reside in Dallas, Texas.
Well, part of the reason that I wanted to get you on video is because I talk to a lot of people, particularly young people, who are really excited to start projects to work with the homeless or to do some gardening in their congregation. And the biggest question I always get is, how do I raise money for that project? Or they feel like they can't pursue or even talk to a congregation about something until they've already figured out how to raise all of the money for it. And what I was hoping that maybe you could share with us a little bit is, like, if you were to have like a development for dummies guide, particularly Lutheran dummies, what would be kind of the step-by-step way for people to think about raising money, whether it's for a particular project or just for justice issues in general?
Well, I think, what we have before us is, what begs the question. If you're just going to ask people for money, say, I've got a good project going, and could you help fund this? Because it's really important. Does that really inspire you to give money? If I just tell you that?
No, because I hear a million people a day say stuff like that to me because I work with the homeless.
Correct.
And they're always begging.
All right. Where we really begin, and it's fundamental to all development programs, is, all right, you come up with an idea, and it's a worthy idea, but how do you communicate the importance of what that is going to bring about in terms of the difference it makes, in terms of your community, in terms of somebody else's life, in terms of being a responsible person about the environment, providing food, the kind of things that they might do. It's really based, good funding development means selling people an opportunity to make an investment in a worthy cause. Mm-hmm. How do they take ownership in that? Mm-hmm. And they take ownership in it by being persuaded, convinced, changed in their opinion by saying, that is a very worthy thing. That's something I'd like to be a part of. Mm-hmm. So it's important to develop the story. Mm-hmm. And we're not talking about long hours of conversation.
Right.
But we're talking about having a concise but clear presentation of what this is about. Mm-hmm. What is it about? Why it is important? What kind of difference it's going to make? And the benefits that are going to result. Not only in the sense of what the project itself communicates, but in how it can impact a neighborhood or a community.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes when I think about having these conversations with people, I could talk for days about what a project is and all the details that go into it. But if I know, for example, that the person I'm going to talk to has had a schizophrenic son, I might just talk about the parts that would be useful to people who are schizophrenic, or to people who have family members who are schizophrenic, or tell a story about how it changed the life of someone who is schizophrenic. Because sometimes connecting with people, with who they are and with what they love and what's been a struggle in their life, sometimes feels like it's a way to connect people to a mission that maybe they didn't need to know all of the details of every single part of the project that you're doing.
That's right. And so, again, because you don't want to go on for hours and hours and hours, people's time is valuable, or they think it is. And so to be able to, in a short form but in clear expression of an idea or a cause, be able to communicate that. And you heard me use the term investment. I don't talk about people giving money. Mm-hmm. I talk about people investing in a project, in a cause.
Sometimes as a pastor, that they feel is going to be able to do important things in the world too, yeah?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, sure. But really, if people see the value, and it's one that attaches to them, if they have a family issue or a particular dynamic that is unique to them or to their community, they're going to want to do the right thing. And if the project is worthy, they want to be part of it. You know, not everybody can give time and give free labor or sundry other things that their participation might enable. But often they can give some money. And it's not to give them an opportunity to ease their conscience, it's giving them an opportunity to make something happen that is good. And if we can get that idea across, then they're going to respond positively.
I talk a lot to different congregations, and I hear people who maybe have a lot of money but have felt some guilt because they've sometimes been preached to that giving time, that you have to also be additionally connected past your money. So I'll often tell people, I don't care if you write me a check out of your shame, out of your glory, out of any benevolent reason, because you even care about this project, or because you just want me to shut up, because I know that we're going to use the funds in a way that's really going to change people's lives and help people and support people. And so I think that's maybe one of the things that, particularly people asking for money about poverty issues, you have to kind of know that you might hear stories of people's feeling shame that they're just writing a check, and to be able to graciously say back to people genuine, thank goodness you wrote this check, and to be able to kind of respond to that as well.
Yeah, I think, part of what has happened often historically in terms of church folk is put them on a guilt trip. And I know as I've gone into parishes or religious communities in the past, in the 15 years that I had that journey, some pastors and church councils were really uptight when I would say, it isn't how often you go to church. It isn't how much money you give, that we're trying to convince God we're good by what we're doing here. It's because of what has already happened in bringing you to a place where you have the possibility of being able to financially help move a project. And that's a very gracing moment. It's a moment of thanksgiving. It's not trying to make God happy, but it's responding to the good news that you have. And that good news translates then into the goodwill that you can build for other people, your neighbors, your family, your community, and beyond.